How's everybody doing? Coach Bartosik here for the Higginsville Soccer Association slash club. Going to be doing some videos on some of the things that we're trying to accomplish on the field, and doing some of these videos can help us save time when trying to coach on the field if we're able to provide visual references for the players to go back and watch over and over again. Same thing applies to the parents, so that when parents are on the sideline watching the game, seeing the things that we're trying to do, it kind of gives them a better grasp of what we're trying to accomplish out there and get the players to understand and execute, so that when the players go home, we wind up not having conflicting or confusing messages. So these videos aren't going to be super high quality productions. That's okay. That's not the intent. The intent is not to be big and flashy. The intent is to get basic information across as quickly as possible. Kind of doing some voiceovers here, talking right behind the camera. That's okay. You may occasionally see me pop onto the camera, but I think this kind of works for right now. So we'll try to keep the videos shorter in duration, and just do a series of videos here. Go ahead and start off very quickly with this. As you can see, this is going to be what our basic formation is. This is called the 4-2-3-1. So whenever we kick off, or whenever the opposing team is kicking off, this is going to kind of be our standard formation and how we're going to look. Of course, pretty easy to see. Everybody knows the keepers and the goal there. You have the 4 across the back line, basically standing at the top of the 18-yard box. You have the 2 fullbacks on the outside. You have the 2 center backs towards the inside. They give us, that's the part of our 4, obviously. Then as we move up the field, you'll see the next 2 pieces up there, the CDMs. Those are our center defense midfielders. Those are the 2 portion of our 4-2-3-1. And then even though they're not aligned perfectly across from each other, you'll see the cam, so that's center attacking midfielder, and the left midfielder and the right midfielder form the 3, even though they're not perfectly on the same line. That's okay, because we want to try to create, if you can imagine in your mind, little triangle shapes between, if you look at where the S is, that's our striker. He's basically got he or she has a triangle with the cam and the right mid, and if you flip to the other side, so there's basically triangles in every direction here. So we want to try to create those types of angles when we kick off, to allow us to move the ball up the field. So that is our basic formation when we are kicking off. One more thing to cover here before we pause for a minute. There's going to be 2 words I use quite frequently when coaching and during practice, and parents may hear me say this word from the sideline. So 2 words, spacing and space. When I say spacing refers to the distance between us, between our teams. Space refers to the distance between us and the opponents, the other team. Now, some of the things that help us with our spacing, if you take a quick notice here and you see the orange dotted lines going up and down the field, those are what we refer to as the 5 channels in soccer. And so pretty basic, self-explanatory here. The 2 outside channels, where the left mid and the fullback are standing in on the left side, that is a wide channel. On the opposite side, it mirrors, right? So the right mid and the fullback over there on the right side are in a wide channel. And then straight down the middle of the field, you'll see that's the center channel, in which the striker and the center attacking midfielder is in, and then the half space. So there's 2 lines between the wide channels on the outside and the center channel on the inside gives us our half space, obviously giving us a total of 5 channels. Now, if you look up and down each channel, generally speaking, you will see that there's basically 2 players in each one of those channels, right? And that's kind of a visual way, or having an understanding of these channels, that helps kind of in our mind, keep us spread out and amongst the field. So if you take a look at the left mid up top on the left hand part of the formation, he or she may tend to drift over into that half space channel, but really should not be over there in the center space, in the center channel where the striker and the cam would be. Because what winds up happening there is we're going to have too many players crowded in one space. We'll kind of vacate that portion of the field, right? So if we move this left mid all the way over here, and maybe this center defense midfielder kind of drifts over a little bit, we've got this huge space going down the side of the field, which is a prime opportunity for our opponents to take an advantage of and move the ball down the field. So that's something to kind of keep into consideration. It's, like I said, you may kind of slowly drift in. If you're in this half space, maybe you might drift over to one side, and we may, have temporarily or for a short duration of time 3 players in one channel. But just generally speaking, this is what kind of helps us, keeps us spread out. So something to keep in mind for the players and the parents.